Let's jump into some headlines that are all about sex.
Oh my
That is sex for the uninitiated. But let's talk about an important element of this. A recent study found that nearly a quarter of adult women in the U.S. have felt scared during a sexual encounter. This comes with the rise in the sex trend of choking, or what's also known as erotic asphyxiation. That's been popularized in pornography as well as more mainstream television. In non-consensual choking, that's causing a lot of alarm in some partners, often wondering whether or not they've been assaulted. And they've even done studies at Indiana University, 347 respondents, 23 described feeling scared because they were unexpectedly choked by their partner. And a lot of people are shaking their heads asking why choking? But there is a trend in pornography, and we've talked about some television shows where this is happening. And we talked about informed consent earlier in the show. There is such a thing as consensual, right?
Yes.
If that's something that you and your partner want to do and do it safely, fine. But this non-consensual choking, to me, it is assault.
Yeah, and it's not
just
adults. It's not just adults. Like 13% of girls between 14 and 17 report that they've already been choked.
Because of the rise in this in pornography, we see young people thinking this is normal. Remember, a lot of kids watching porn think this is representative of the actual sex people are having, and it's not necessarily. Shows like Euphoria on HBO also very explicitly depicting this, and this is what young people are watching. So then they think, oh, I'll just bring this in as if it's something that should be done without asking.
And
if you don't do it, you're not
Yeah.
you're not doing it correctly.
Correct.
You're not
Yeah,
having
but
sex
that's how
correctly.
it's done.
Physiologically, supposedly, if you are going through slight asphyxiation, less blood to the brain, that you may have a more intense orgasm is what they're claiming. But
My issue with this is choking is an aggressive action.
Yes.
People die from choking,
Yes.
and asphyxiation is nothing to be joked around with. And choking someone out for sexual pleasure, you're towing a line that to me as an ER doctor is one that should not be towed.
Is it a minute that if you're asphyxiated for a minute, you can die, correct, with pressure on the larynx?
It obviously depends on the individual. If it's someone who has low oxygen reserves, it doesn't take much. And you know, that's physiology, which we're not going to get
you
into.
can also
But
damage the trachea. You press hard enough, you can fracture the trachea.
But
Then you're in real trouble.
But parents, I mean, that's why it's important to talk to your children, because there are all of these porn websites and they are ready. They are ready to educate your child and tell your child all of the wrong things. So they're saying, yes, choke your partner, spank your partner, pull her hair, she'll like it, or pull his hair, they'll like it. And they're thinking that that's normal. They're thinking that that's what the other person actually wants. The other person is watching it and they're saying, well, I don't know, maybe that's what I'm supposed to want. They look like they're having a good time and they're doing it right. So that's how and so they're walking away with bumps and bruises that they don't want. That's assault. If you don't want it, it shouldn't be happening.
And I think maybe now the conversation, when you talk about having the talk with your children, I think it now has to include all of these elements about respecting your partner. Quite frankly, consensual, informed consent. You know, if you're going to do this stuff, hey, talk about it.
And I think it goes back to the same theme we've had throughout this episode of transparency and consent. And also realizing that all of this social media, the online information, in quotation marks, they're getting, most of the time is not education, it's complete misinformation.
Yes.
And so when in doubt, even if they don't feel comfortable talking to their parent, that they need to talk to a doctor, they need to talk to a school counselor, someone who has the correct information, so that we're not just propagating this, and also a culture of just violation and assault rather than consent.